Winter is coming. Is your home ready? Here with Blain's Farm and Fleet is marketing specialist Logan McCone. Logan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so winter will be here before we know it. You've got some great tips on how we can make sure our home is winterized. Let's get right into it, because the first thing you think we should do is to check our windows and doors.
Yeah, so windows and doors are really one of the main places where your house will lose heat. So if you kind of focus a lot of effort there on making sure the windows are winterized, there's no water coming through, that'll go a long way in making sure your home is winterized and really ready for the cold.
Okay, so what do you have here that would go along with that, keeping our windows and doors safe?
So one of the big things that people often do to winterize their home is they get that plastic film that you put over the windows and doors, because, you know, obviously you're not going to be opening your windows too much in the winter.
Exactly.
But one thing that people oftentimes forget is that plastic will seal to the window, but a lot of times you'll want to get some sealing tape as well, really to make sure that the seal is good, especially as the months go on, kind of later on in the months, that tape can wear out and then you'll start getting a little bit of leakage. So make sure you pick up some sealing tape as well to make sure that you've got a really great fit when it comes to winterizing your windows.
You could probably add a little caulk too, maybe around your windows. That would also help.
Yeah, if you structurally just put caulk around it, I mean, that'll also help with the seams of the window. That could help all times of the year.
Okay. Our next tip is to detect water leaks. We don't have time for that in the winter.
Yes, water leaks, it's extremely expensive and no one really wants to deal with a burst pipe because things got too cold. So there's a lot of great ways to make sure that your pipes don't leak and make sure that they don't freeze, then ultimately burst. So we've got a couple great things to do that as well. One thing that people don't think of is a faucet cover outside. So faucet covers outside, obviously if you got a hose, you know, you hook up to in the summer to water your yard, it's outside, so it gets really, really cold, but they make faucet covers so that way you can insulate the very end, because that part of the pipe can also burst. So it can be really important to insulate that as well, because that can be really big a point of weakness.
Yeah, so usually you just think, just unplug just undo the hose and you're good to go, but this is an extra step there.
A little extra precaution.
Yes,
sure.
And then we also want to make sure we're protecting our plumbing and electrical. That's where these little handy dandy insulators come in.
Yeah, they look a lot like a pool noodle, but they're a little more warm, and these things are really, really cheap. And so if you have any exposed pipes that are near, especially external walls, you'll want to pick up a couple of these. They don't cost more than $1 each.
And it's going to save you in the long run, too.
It can save you a lot in the long run in terms of plumbing bills. So it really goes a long way, and you can never really go too much in keeping the pipes warm so they don't burst in the winter.
Exactly. Okay, speaking of keeping warm, we want to make sure that we're maintaining our heating system. What have you got for that?
Yeah, so one of the things, obviously with a furnace, if you have any real problems, you're going to want to contact an HVAC professional. But one of the things that you can do is replace a furnace filter. It's a pretty easy repair, and they are pretty cheap to do. So if you haven't replaced your furnace filter in a long time, that could be a really cheap upgrade to the air quality in your home. Oops,
whoa.
The air quality in your home, as well as keeping your furnace working in tip-top shape.
Okay, tell me about this.
So since we're spending so much time indoors, it can be really important to check for carbon monoxide. So that right there is it's one of the first in the industry. It's a smart home safety device that detects carbon monoxide as well as tests out the indoor air quality monitoring. So it's kind of a two-in-one thing, so that way you can make sure that the air in your home is safe, because you're spending so much time in it because not really going outside as much. And then it also can make sure that the air quality is good and let you know if you need to do something like replace the furnace filter.
Okay, very good. And then we have to prepare for all of that wet weather that comes along with the winter months. We want to keep our floors protected. We've got a nice little mat here.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you come home, you know, you kick the snow off your shoes, and then you take a step in your nice and warm socks, and then they instantly get wet because your boots or your shoes got snow all over, and it melted and formed a puddle. So definitely investing in those rubber doormats go a long way in making sure you're not tracking water around your home and making sure you're staying warm.
Yeah, and final tip, keep those gutters clean.
Yes, keeping gutters clean as well. That'll help you in the spring, and just make sure the water is moving all throughout your house. That'll help out your foundation and keep everything moving.
Well, lots of great tips here, and I'm guessing we can find all of these things at Blain's Farm and Fleet.
Yes, you can stop at the Blain's Farm and Fleet. We also have the Blain's blog, where we've got a lot of information about DIY type projects and winterizing your home. So tons of information available.
Okay, very good. Well, we appreciate you coming, giving us a lot of tips here on keeping our homes winterized this winter. If you want to learn a little bit more about Blain's Farm and Fleet, there's a look at their website, and we, of course, will connect you at our website, CILiving.tv, after today's show.